All right. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Comics News Today. It is Monday, the 12th of August. I am Chester C. Busby III. Very happy to be with you. I see we got a bunch of people in here. Hello, Roger Heller. Hello, D Fresh. Very happy to have you guys with us, and do keep in mind to hit that share button for us and let your family and friends know what's going on because we cannot rely upon the notifications of the YouTube. Hey, Lady Celtic Moon's in here too.
We
Uh,
cannot
but
rely on the notifications of puny YouTube. See, this is what I'm telling you. You get
yeah.
me started, I can't. I cannot stop.
Hey, March Hare's in here too. Guys, as we always mention, just definitely check out our links we have down below, and get involved with those things. We were just talking a little bit off screen here, a little bit about how well the FanSpeak Facebook page is doing. We're really happy with that, dude. I think it might be the best thing we've done so far, actually, because there's so much in interaction. People are posting, trailers and things that the books they're working on, or reviews, or all kind of stuff. Man, it's really cool. I
Yeah.
mean, this is Denali's baby. I mean, he set it up, so I mean, you must be happy about it, dude.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the whole point of the community is seeing what everybody is doing and interacting with. And we see, like you said, a lot of people joining up, a lot of people posting their works or
Hmm.
sketches or commissions or interest. Suggesting um, articles for us to read on air, and we certainly do.
Yeah,
Which is
we do. Yeah.
you know you we work because you work as well,
Oh
so
yeah.
it's all awesome.
And it's really helpful too,
Mhm.
because I mean, of course, you're Denali here is in charge of news gathering, and he does a wonderful job with it. But it really helpful to just see exactly what's going on. It helps me a lot because personally, most of my day is spent doing something that has nothing to do with the internet at all. I mean, I'm usually completely dark when it comes to the internet most of my day. I mean, other than this time right here. So it actually helps me a lot to be up to date what's going on, all the cool and interesting things, and some of the funny, sad things as well. Yeah, I love it, dude. Thank you guys for being part of that and making that happen. And if you're not posting in the fan speak, don't be afraid, dude. Put something in there. We're happy to have it. As you notice, our community is a little different than a lot of other ones. I actually am admin in a couple other community. I don't do much. They just, I guess, kind of gave it to me as a I don't know why, but I can see what goes on behind the scenes, and those guys are pretty strict about things being on content, and we pretty much let you put up whatever you want. I mean, to a point, right? I mean, I haven't had to knock anything off the site. Have
Don't
you,
open those
Denali?
floodgates, Chester. Just yet. don't say go have at it. Yeah,
Uh,
that only ends in bad results.
all right, then don't do nothing. Don't
Yeah,
listen to
there we go.
Chester.
Don't post things. Just don't.
No, but seriously, Denali, I don't know that have we had to take anything down?
No, not really.
Yeah,
We all say is just keep it respectful. We don't mind you guys advertising
yeah.
your works. We like to see what's going on and what
Hmm.
people's working on. Just be respectful and be mindful of others.
And
That's
everybody
all we
has,
ask.
dude. Yeah, I think it's been
Yeah.
great. And I know a lot of channels have trouble with people advertising, but why? I mean, that's what we want you to do. We want to know what's your project, what's going on, what are you involved with, or what are you excited about? I think it's great, and I really like. Very happy with what's going on with the FanSpeak page, and of course, I'm happy with what we do here. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Of course, yesterday we had our TFT channel where we a show where we talked about the lost tribes of Israel, and I came to the conclusion that they're not lost. I think it was a bit of a buzzkill.
Yeah.
Yep.
I noticed you didn't really give my theory much credence, Chester.
What theory did you have, Booster?
Remember, well, I had the 14th lost tribe was the Mountain Jews.
Oh, the Mountain Dews. Yes, yes. I
Yeah,
thought that was
yeah,
very, very clever. Very, very
yeah,
clever. Uh,
absolutely. They absolutely, definitely orchestrate all of the mass shootings via Mountain Dew and video games.
yeah,
This is confirmed. A
it
mountain
is
is a
confirmed.
triangle, an Illuminati sign is a triangle.
That's right.
Makes sense? I
Uh-huh.
think so.
Booster's
Absolutely,
creating his own
200%.
conspiracies. 200%.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I like the
200%.
TFT show because
Mhm.
that allows me to talk. Not always, but sometimes it lets me talk about historical stuff, which you guys don't like me talking about otherwise. And seeing as it's set in a conspiracy theory reservoir, it allows me just to go off. And I enjoy it personally. I have a lot of fun with it. But we're not here to talk TFT today. We're talking comic book news. And Denali actually was giving us a little information about something that's going on with one of the things we really love. I do see Bianca fights the zombies is in here. Rebel Gaming says, "Hey guys," he says on his way to work, just want to drop by and say hi. Well, hello, dude. Hope all is well in Japan. It is, dude. We have a big typhoon about to slam down on top of us in a day or two. So I'm not really sure how the Wednesday show is going to go, but we'll see. And the Kiwi connection for life, absolutely, dude. But
Yeah,
Denali, you
I've
were.
been trying to get him to put a cool before that. Cool with the K, the cool Kiwi connection, but he's not having it. I don't get it, but whatever.
I think Kiwi cool connections would be better than cool Kiwi connections. I think it sounds better. Yeah, just personally. But anyway,
Whatever.
Denali, you were talking about D&D, dude, and I love that.
Yeah, right. There was an article that I was looking around. That wasn't much, but I did like the recognition that um, that it helps interaction with social peers. They've been recognizing that DED is for a benefits,
Mhm.
and not just wasting time at the basement as well.
Uh,
It actually promotes interactions.
that's one of those big duh. That's one of those university studies that goes and spends years and millions of dollars researching something that everyone already knows the answer to. I
People
love that.
like chocolate.
Yeah.
Wow,
Wow. It's
good use of our
surprising.
money, guys.
Wow.
Rebel Gaming says Thaco. Yeah, dude, going back to the old second edition, man. Absolutely. March Hare says Death Sworn is live on IGG. Indiegogo. I can vouch for this book. It's fun. Well, you know what? Ask the Death Sworn people to come on over here and we'll talk to them about it, March Hare. We'd love to. We love talking to all the Indiegogo creators, getting new people and seeing what they're doing. So yeah, tell them to come on over, man. But yeah, with D&D, I started playing D&D in what 1979, I think, and it was great. I love D&D. Another thing that D&D does. It's not just D&D. Any kind of board game, tabletop gaming. It really helps build up your social skills. It allows you to interact with people and talk. And I think one of the problems we have these days is with people's person-to-person, interpersonal skills. This is why I think board games are in a golden age. Even though video games are just killer amount of money is made from video games, board games are coming back hardcore, dude. And I think it's because people, when you play a video game, you sit in a room kind of by yourself, right? But if you're sitting at a table with a bunch of people, you're interacting, you're socializing, and I think everyone here knows that. I know Booster plays D&D, and Denali does as well. What about you, George? You do any social things or just screw the world?
Yeah, I troll everyone I can on the internet, including everyone here.
Yes, you do. You're pretty good at
That's
that. So
just
you don't play board games or anything like that with your family?
You know, all the time. But the stuff that we play is Monopoly. We call it it's just life,
Hmm.
Rat Trap.
Right.
The stuff of the '70s and '80s.
Sure.
You play it. You play it. It's a quick fix, but
Mhm.
it's the interaction that's what we're playing for.
Well, George, I suggest you go to a hobby store, a gaming store. They'll have all kinds of different things in a gaming hobby store, of course, but they'll have a lot of board games too. Because I'm not going to sit here and knock Monopoly or Life or Sorry or Parcheesi or any of that kind of stuff. They're fun, but to be fair, the games that we have today kind of make those things look like when the kids used to basically take an old hoop and kind of roll it around the street, and that was their game for the day. They're really not. Those games are not sophisticated. They still can be fun, but there's a lot better stuff now. And if you're kind of still playing the, Uno, which is good, Life and stuff like that, I suggest you go to a gaming store and check it out because there's some really cool stuff going on, man. Booster, do you have any board games, or you just play D&D with your buddies?
Hmm? Oh, remember I had Tabletop Simulator for the longest time.
Yeah, I know you did. I'm just,
But
I'm kind of, it's
haven't
like
played them
that's a
sometime, but
handoff booster. That's for you to like, yes, Chester. Well, come on now.
no, I don't really play board games IRL these days.
Oh, thank you.
I don't have friends.
Okay, I see. Rebel
People don't
Gaming
like
says,
me. I don't like them. It's mutual.
Rebel Gaming says, Axis and Allies. Dude, I played so many games of that. It's a fun game. But can you even play it these days without someone calling you? Oh, wow, they're going to call me nuts anyway. Particularly me, right? Risk, that's fun too. Cool. Let's see. What up, folks? Muttman says, hey, Muttman, what's going on, dude? We got Scott Schmier in here as well. See if anyone else is mentioning games. Sorry is the best. Sorry can be fun. I prefer Parcheesi, but Sorry is a card version of it. Sorry is fun. I'm just telling you, if those are the games you guys are still playing, go to a gaming shop. You would be surprised. You know what we should do? I should put together an article, either for Insider or do something here, or maybe in Indicom TV, and talk about the top 10 games to own. Board games to own, because I got a huge collection myself.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, I think I should do that.
Yeah.
Just to introduce, because a lot of people I keep hearing this, Life Risk and stuff, which are good games, but there's so much better out there. And you
What
know
would you
what?
do it by? Like straight up the best games you think there are out there, or the best kind of introduction games to get people into board games? Like
Maybe
the
maybe
must
both.
own kind of things.
Maybe
Hmm.
both,
Hmm. Yeah.
because, like, for instance, I would certainly rate Terra Mystica as one of the best games to own, but I don't know if I want to introduce someone to board games with that. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty rough, but that's a
Hmm.
killer game. Um, uh, the what would I introduce to people? I mean, you got some really good stuff like Legendary for a loss over here with superheroes. Legendary is a deck builder game. It's a mechanic. There's various mechanics in board games, right? Set collection or dice movement or what have you. But deck building is one that came out some time ago with a game called Dominion. I don't think it was the first one, but it's the one that made it popular. And deck building, you start with a very basic set of things depending on the game. Like with the legendary superhero one, you're starting out with a few different type of shield agents. You have one shield agent which gives you like an attack points, and another one that gives you kind of a money or a recruitment type of thing. And you lay those down, your whole hand down when it's your turn, and say you have three of the attack type of card, the shield type, and you have two of the money one. Well, you take that two money and you go over to the store and you could buy something to make your deck bigger and stronger. And then your attack, you can attack whatever there is to attack, whether it be another player or something on the board. Depends on whether it's co-op or not. But just a quick, explanation of the mechanic. But deck building is, a lot of fun, and that's kind of a new mechanic for some people. If you're still playing Risk, and sorry, you don't know anything about deck building, right?
Hmm. I
So
love deck
okay,
building.
that sounds interesting. Way too complicated for someone like me. I'd rather play Stratego or Mousetrap.
Well, Stratego is fun. It's not hard at all, George. It's quite easy, actually. And some deck builders are
I
much
love
more simple
Mousetrap.
than others. Mousetrap is fun. Stratego is as well. I use Stratego in my school and have little mini tournaments with the kids, and they like it. So it still works. Hungry, Hungry Hippos. Yeah, dude. I love that game, right?
I would
Uh,
love to do some competitive Hungry Hippos. Let's get
right,
into it.
right.
Yeah.
They talk about Scrabble. Sure, I use that all the time. Dice, six dice game. Yeah, that's right.
That's
Yahtzee.
that
Yeah,
sounds like a Bugs Bear basement topic.
it
That
does. It
Hmm.
does. That's all right. We're just
Oh,
kind of
oh.
having a warm up conversation here.
This
Connect
is this is
Four.
Dinale saying, "Move it on with it,
I
Chester."
know. He's like, damn it, these stupid nerds.
These
All
damn
right.
nerds.
It's a myth that you can make your deck bigger and stronger. No, it's not, Eric. Matter of fact, the really
Hmm.
good deck builders have a lot of mechanics in it where you can take the cards you started with, which are kind of weak and soft, and get rid of them. You can seep them out of your
Hmm.
deck, and therefore your hand becomes tighter and quicker and
Yeah.
stronger. I
Yeah.
love deck building. That is a brilliant mechanic that someone came
Yeah.
up with.
All the emails I get assure me that I can get a much bigger deck with 5 easy payments.
Ah, goodness gracious. This is the world I live in. Everything is a sex joke. right? Anyway, all right,
Did
let's
you
go.
just hear yourself go on about making your hand tighter as your dick gets bigger?
I know, because I'm not perverted, Booster. I was thinking all the cool deck builder games in my head. I wasn't thinking about that. Goodness gracious. But anyway,
Yeah.
well, let's start off with the news, and let's get right into it with possibly the stupidest news of the year. I'm not really sure. There's been a lot of really dumb, foolish things this year, but ooh, it's right toward the top, Denali.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
from Mirror, Disney gives a first look at Lady and the Tramp remake, live action remake, excuse me. And here's the
No.
twist. Here's the twist.
No.
It's not gonna involve any dogs. It's actually gonna involve just people in the title role.
Okay. Okay. Now, now they are putting dogs here because it confused me because they said they put the two dogs and then they showed I
Mhm.
thought the voice actors for them. But you're telling me that straight up they're literally replacing the animals and doing humans, right? That's what you're telling me.
Right. So what you see in the Disney Plus, they're showing what the dogs were in the animated things, and they're showing who they're going to be playing. There you go.
All right, I have to call this. All right, I'm sick and tired of movie studios doing a PC swap on characters. I'm really, really upset about it.
Uh,
It's driving me crazy. I think they should stick to the species of the character that originally was, in the original. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
yeah, but I don't.
Um,
I hear what
I'm
you're
looking
saying there.
into it,
I don't
and
think so. I don't. Yeah, go ahead, Booster. I don't agree. I don't think they're doing what Denali's saying at all. Go ahead, Booster.
I'm looking into it, and it seems like they are using dogs, and
Yeah.
these are the voice actors next to them.
Yes, I think so. I do believe they're dogs. I don't think they're doing, as George said earlier, My Fair Lady.
Yeah, here we are. They say they will voice these characters in the articles I'm reading.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bloody
Uh,
hope so.
yeah, because that did seem
Yeah.
really weird. But then again, it brings us back to the thing is, do we want a Lady and the Tramp live action anyway? I mean, that movie is classic in and of itself. I don't think we need a remake of that movie at all. But there's a
I
lot of
don't
things
want the
that,
past 5 bloody remakes, but they keep making money.
unfortunately, yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
You
I
know,
don't
The
think that.
Lion King just went over $1 billion.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, it's an exact remake of the animated, right?
Just drop it.
I know, right? Yeah,
So,
no,
so it's an animated remake of an animated film.
Yes.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. But no, they are definitely using dogs, Denali. You have Tessa
Okay.
Thompson as Lady. You have Justin Theroux as Tramp. Okay, Sam Elliott as Trusty. Sam Elliott is awesome. He will never die. Ashley Jenny dies tomorrow. Damn it, knock wood. Ashley Jensen is Jock.
Don't put that in the world.
I know, right? Uh, yeah, no, they are. I just think it's weird because, oh God, who is this woman? Damn, she's terrifying. What is it? Who is this chick, dude?
That's yeah.
The Valkyrie chick from
Yeah.
those Thor movies.
Oh, I don't like her.
Yeah.
I don't like her at all. Yeah, she didn't have much in the booby department, does she? Oh well.
No, that's always a shame.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
But she's playing a dog, so it should
Pray
be all
for
right.
her boobies.
We shall pray for them. Take it back, stay live, my ninjas. Hey, Big Steve. Hey, watching videos, but wanted to stop and drop love on the crew. Dude, we always appreciate some love. Of course, Eric is in here, and he's not giving love at all. He's picking on me. I'm sure he is.
Ban him.
Ban him? No, Eric says they need to keep finding movies for Tessa Thompson to be in. Yeah, I mean, she's the hot ticket, right? I don't know what it is. She's a rather unattractive thing. I suppose she doesn't need to be attractive. I hadn't seen her in anything that's necessary, so I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. But I don't know.
They're
This
pushing
is
her hard, but
they are
she's
pushing
not really
hard.
getting much traction. Like MIB International failed disastrously.
It did, but they fail up, right?
She is not getting crowds.
No,
not
because
happening,
she's not
boys.
so interesting. But it's Yeah, there is something to be said about that, Booster. I think because a lot of her roles, she doesn't need to be attractive. It's not what the character's supposed to be, and so it's fine. But there's some weird little thing about humans. We like looking at beautiful people. Go figure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful people, the beautiful people.
Yes. Perfect reference. Good job, dude. Good. Claps for Booster. Claps. Yes, Marilyn Manson reference on the comic news today, baby. I have no
Yeah.
clue who this dude
We're
is.
very hip.
We are hip. We are. 30 years ago, hip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Disney's Lilo and oh no. I said it last
No.
night and I brought it into the world. I did it.
No.
I did it.
Lilo and Stitch? That wouldn't even work in
Hold
live.
on. I got to talk to my daughter. She's actually visiting for the holidays. I got to talk to my daughter for a second, guys. Hold on. Let's get her reaction live. I'm going to open my mic up. Daughter, Disney is making a Lilo and Stitch live action remake. What do you have to say about that? Okay, she has her hands over her head, headache impending, chuckling. My wife has just dozed off, so it doesn't help at all. Yeah, no, it's stupid. Stupid.
Stupid.
It's stupid. All right. Jazz hands, people. I'm triggered. Damn it, March Hare. Well,
we are in the worst timeline, surely.
Right, we are for sure, dude. Willie Mammoth says, "Well, I like her curly mustache bangs. Well, let's go check him out." He's right. She does have curly mustache bangs. Look at that.
Oh no.
Yeah, but she's so unattractive, dude.
Wait, isn't that curly mustache bang signs of being a villain?
Maybe. I think it is. I think you found something. You did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
She has such unhealthy skin too. Oh well.
Oh well.
Oh well. But yeah, no, Disney, stop it. Somebody needs to stop
Quit
Disney.
it.
Stop it. We got to go talk to George Lucas. Maybe he'll solve it. All right, let's move on to our next story here. This one is pretty interesting. I'm gonna let Booster take this because he's quite interested in it. So I do apologize ahead of time. Here we go.
Sarah Silverman claims she was fired for blackface photo from 2007. Are we able to scroll down? Are we able to see this offensive blackface photo, Chester?
I would say probably not, but I'm going to scroll down anyway and look for it.
Yeah, go look for it. Let's see the large offense, shall we?
Yep, no.
Is it not,
no
it's not
offense,
it's not here, boys.
No, it's not here. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you can Google image it for yourself just for a reference for today's thing, right? It was a joke, right?
I'm sure it was, yeah.
It was a joke about how blackface is bad. That's the joke, and she looks ridiculous in it. And she's going on about how I'm so beautiful, It's just it's a dumb joke, right? But this is a very classic case of you remember in Game of Thrones when Ramsay Bolton says, "My hounds will never harm me," right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they just devour him. That's what's happening to Sarah Silverman right now. She pushed for this culture, right? This politically correct climate where the first thing they always go for is comedy. Because political correctness and comedy cannot coexist, no matter how much they try to push it. And Sarah Silverman is one of those people who kept attempting to push politically correct comedy and said, political correctness will just help comedy. No, it doesn't. Not to mention that now she's whining about cancer culture. Yeah, the very culture that you were advocating for a very long time.
She also dresses Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, as you should be able to.
Sure, yeah.
Because we know it's a joke.
And this is full on mammy stuff too, dude.
Yeah. It's just Hey,
yes. Well, of course, you get what you get. What goes around comes around, right, Miss Silverman? She is an extremely toxic individual. She does the most outrageous things all the time because she, Amy Schumer, all these kind of modern female comedians, they can't be funny. They can't actually write funny jokes or deliver funny lines. What they have to do is shock you. Amy Schumer, of course, all she does is just some, sex jokes and I'm a dirty whore jokes. That's all she can do.
Whore.
I'm a fat whore. That's her whole thing, right? Sarah Silverman is the same.
Vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Jackass guys, right? Those Jackass guys aren't particularly funny, but they go out and abuse themselves, and therefore it's funny, I guess. And they're kind of taking that line. But Sarah Silverman is not funny. She's annoying at best, and she's always been annoying. But then when you add the layer of progressive politics on top of her, now she's just toxic. So you get this is what you deserve, right? I mean, I think it's nonsense. So you should be able to make any joke you want to make. It's comedy, right? But the fact that it's coming back on her is wrong, but it's funny because she's lost a job opportunity because of some stupid joke she did. You know,
Hmm.
Denali, you got any opinions on this?
I'm I'm just laughing in the background because it is funny. This is the most funniest thing I have seen from her.
Yeah, well, I've never thought she was funny. I always thought she was kind of this weird thing.
Reap
But
what you sow.
reap what you sow. But she actually did quite a bit of stuff with Matt Damon and I think it's Jimmy Kimmel. I think his name's Kimmel. But the problem with Jimmy Kimmel is he's never been funny. He's not interesting at all, and I've never understood why Jimmy Kimmel has been on TV as long as he has. He is really not a funny guy, and she and Matt Damon were part of it. I mean, we have other people who are extremely toxic now as well, like say Stephen Colbert. Right? He's absolutely lost
Mm.
his mind, Trump derangement syndrome, 100%. The guy is off his freaking nut, right? But at the same time that these things were going on, he had the Colbert Report, and that shit was funny, dude. Ding ding.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
was really funny,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. But this should not be a thing. But the fact that it is just showing you how the left eats themselves. George, would you like to say something that isn't incredibly incendiary?
Karma.
Karma. Okay, fine, good. I'll take that. I'll take it. Let me come over to the chat because they are going off over here. So let me try to catch up a little bit. Um, let's see, Jazz hands. Yeah, we said that regular people are in control of these things. Think about that. Yeah, right. No, Scott, insane lawyer puppets that have no creativity. Okay, yeah, that's from Kronos Chiron. Ahoy, Nick. Nick W is in here. Hello. Kronos says, here's original Pinocchio that is a lawyer, and the man holding strings is Disney CEO. Okay, it's about politics, all right. Bullet. This is a very good point, Bullet. Bullet says, Ginger dog replaced, follow the money. Dude, hashtag
Oh
Ginger apocalypse, dude.
my god. The ginger dog was being voiced by a black woman. Oh my god.
Mhm.
That's right. That's right. No, come on,
They
come on
do it with
over.
everything.
No, hold on. It's funny, but it's true. Come, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. Ginger dog, not Ginger Girl. Of course, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
anyway. I mean, there's some great
Doesn't
characters that
it?
are done. Like Bart Simpson's a woman, right? It doesn't really matter with voice acting. But hey, dude, what is going on with that? Is there some knot in the universe that's causing this to happen? I don't know, but it's true, Bullet.
It's so strange. It's just strange. It's one of those things that just doesn't really add up.
It
It's
doesn't.
like,
It's really weird.
why?
It,
We
it is
can't make
amazing,
fun
dude.
of the ginger anymore. Stop bullying the
Yeah,
gingers.
Oh,
they're about to be a minority themselves soon enough.
well, actually, genetically they are.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
we're we're kind of losing them, but it's weird. Let's see here. Yeah, but it's their politics coming back to haunt them. It's true, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Chiron says, yeah, it's hilarious. She's getting it now. Well, they always do. They come back and eat on each other.
Mm-hmm.
She thrives on shock value. That's all she got. You're right. Nick
Just
W
is your
says,
mic still open?
what do you say?
Was your mic still open?
My mic is, yeah.
Yeah, we're just hearing a lot of background noise.
Oh, my family's probably talking.
Yeah.
I
They're enjoying something.
tell
That's
them
all
to
right.
shut up. No.
Okay, I'm going to tell them. Ladies, Booster says, "Shut up." She said you're an extremely annoying human. Shut up. Back to you. But it was in Japanese. I'm translating. Comedy should be left alone. Of course, right. You're right, Willie. Eric says, this is some Aunt Jemima Al Johnson blackface there. Wait, isn't she Jewish? Yeah, right. It's funny because she is. A Jewish girl dressed up like Hitler. What is wrong with her? Well, I think she's trying to be funny, but the problem is they're desperately trying to be funny all the time, but they're just not funny. So they take the kind of weird costume or goofy shock thing because they don't know how to be funny. Otherwise, like we mentioned, Amy Schumer is a perfect example. All she talks about is "I'm a dirty whore," and she thinks that's going to shock you into making think she's funny. She has no dialogue. Whereas someone like Samantha Bee, for instance,
Oh
who
no.
is also extremely toxic and hateful person, she can be funny-ish. Actually, she can
Ish.
be. I'm sorry. How dare I say things?
Yeah.
The chat had a lot to say, dude. Let me see. Comedy show. Okay, yes, they are retarded. I agree. But sometimes people go too far, like Kramer from Seinfeld. He's funny though. I never thought she was funny, but whatever. No, she's not funny, dude. Alanis Morissette. Isn't it ironic? Wow, dude. Deep Canadian cut right there, sir. All right. Scott says, I never thought Don Rickles was funny for the same reason. Now, whew, that's a good point. Does anyone here other than me know who Don Rickles is? No. Okay.
No.
Yeah, no. Oh, dude. I think Don is hilarious personally. I get what you're saying though, but you see, he's kind of he
Mr.
does what
Potato Head?
well, maybe he is. Yeah, no, that's the guy from Cheers. No, it's a different guy. Don Rickles has passed
Mm.
away, but he kind of does what Booster does here, right? Just a lot better. But
What?
it's self-deprecating. Don Rickles is a legend of comedy, dude. It's a self-deprecating humor. So he is saying outrageous and incendiary things, but he's turning it in on itself. He was a good buddy of Frank Sinatra, and he was a comedian. He's part of that old crew. But
Don Rickles was the absolute epitome of the roast master
yep,
that ever existed.
yeah. But it's all from a self-deprecating point of view, right? But anyway, interesting point. Alanis Morissette. Oh, I already read that. How can I get backed up here? She was an SNL writer. That explains a lot. Bitching about things
Hmm.
isn't comedy to me. No, it's not. Unless you're making it funny. Kimmel is Jewish. What does that mean? Okay. March Hare says it's Frankenstein's monster, Chester. Their creation is turning on them. Yes, it is. Letterman is Jewish. Yes. Shall I continue? Yes, please continue. No problem. Let's get banned. Her and Kimmel used to date. Oh, is that what it was? Oh, okay. Letterman was funny. Yes, Robin Williams was funny. Sam Kinison was funny. Very funny. Sarah, not so much. No, they hate the Irish. They do hate the Irish, dude. But the funny thing is, where the majority of redheads in the world are actually at? Because most people, when you say redhead, people think Irish, right? And I get it. But actually, the majority of redheaded people in the world are in a place called Russia. Rus meaning red, and yeah meaning the place. So the place of the redheaded people. Russia is actually where you have the most redheads. Roseanne Barr was funny before she went insane. Well, I agree. I liked Roseanne. I thought she was funny, and I don't think she went insane at all. She didn't say anything that annoying, did she? Someone tell me what she said to get herself in trouble.
Something to do with someone looking like a monkey.
Oh, right,
Camilla
right,
had
right. But she does though.
What I'll say that.
Why can't we say that? Just
You
because
guys,
she's somewhat
it
mulatto.
doesn't mean it. He is on a lot of Ambien right now.
Well, I mean, first of all, she's a mulatto, a high white, a high yellow mulatto, as they call it. And so it's not like she's like an African lady anyway. And besides that, I've known plenty of people who look like monkeys that aren't from Africa. I mean, over here in Japan, they'll actually joke around and call a little kid a monkey because they look like a monkey. So, I mean, what's wrong with this? It's cute. But in that case, it wasn't being cute. But she kind of did like that lady from the original Planet of the Apes. But whatever, poor Roseanne. She lived on being a toxic troll, and it came back to bite her. Let me see here. Scott says they are trying to like Monty Python, but that stuff today's doesn't fly. Yeah, Monty Python, Lyle, not even close. That they just they're idiots. I agree. Monty Python was actually it looked really silly and stupid, just like Benny Hill, but it was very clever actually. Very
Mhm,
clever.
mhm.
But then again, this is kind of the problem we have. A lot of the Americans, they don't care about putting the effort in. They just want to be famous. Let me see. I'm pretty much caught up here. Dry humor like Newhart. And Newhart was pretty funny too. Did you like Newhart, George?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Chrono says, unless it's Second City, it ain't proper SNL after they did something and when SNL died. Yeah, no, SNL is very rarely funny since the 80s, I think, dude. There's been a couple of moments, I think, when you had Dana Carvey and what was the crazy fat guy jumping running around? It was real funny.
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley.
Rodney
Those
Dangerfield.
Well, those two together during that time, they was funny. I mean, it happens every now and then, but SNL's usually not funny, dude. So Russians invaded Ireland in ancient times. Then, no, I would say it's probably the other way around. But actually, I'm not going to get into that because I'll get yelled at. I can explain that, but I won't. Oh no, Chester, you can't say certain people look like primates. That is a no. Why? Some people look like monkeys. Some people look like pigs. Some people look like cows. Some people look like, I don't know, birds and fish and boosters. Right?
No, oh, what's that?
Nothing.
What I say?
I
Oh,
just
right.
I don't care what I'm not supposed to say, Eric. I say whatever I want to say. Hmm.
Oh
That
no.
that is why Haruo Kosel got fired. He said, looked at the little monkey guy in the football broadcast. Well, yeah, but was he saying he looked like a monkey, or was he saying he was moving and dodging and leaping like a monkey? I'm pretty sure it's the latter. And what's wrong with that? I mean, I would say that Jackie Chan is a monkey. Am I wrong for saying that? Because the dude's awesome. Am I showing any disrespect by saying that? No, I'm not. What I'm doing is saying the guy is amazing because he can move around and climb anything, etc., etc. See, Nick W says Chester sounds more and more like that uncle during the holidays. Success, success.
That one uncle.
Right, one uncle. And Chrono says I'm with Chester. Some people look like bears, right?
Mm,
Right.
mm.
Exactly. But anyway, Sarah Silverman. Oh, let's. Shall we give a moment of silence to her career? Hold on a second. Okay, that's enough. All right, moving on. Oh God, this is CBS's page. Calm, Dinale.
All right. So from comicbook.com, Jonathan Hickman responds to the House of X plagiarism accusations. Which, I mean, it sounds like, oh no, there's something going on, but no, not really. Basically, a novelist, Catherine Webb, made a tweet comment saying that, the reveal of one of the characters reborn, rebirth looks similarly like aspects of her own character that she wrote years before, and Hickman was known to say a couple years back that that he had read her novel, but as you read the thread in the article, there's no issues because everybody recognized as an adult, and I've stressed this as an adult, that ideas are not original and sometimes they overlap.
They always do. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And this little dialogue here from Claire North, I think, is fine. I think with this, for me, this article isn't really anything. It's clickbait from CBS, which is fine. But I think that what brings up to me the conversation from this article is actually the fact that you know, I don't think people understand exactly how the human brain works. People think that you know how you see a lot of people talk about genius is the ability to go from A to Z or A to C, and skip everything in between. Yeah,
Mhm.
I get the idea. We understand the concept of it, and it explains it very clearly, but it's not actually accurate at all. That's not what humans do. You, in truth, your brain cannot formulate a new idea. You cannot formulate something that has never been thought of before. You can't. That's not how the brain works. What you can do is take an arrangement of things that you've already seen in your life and adapt it. And then from that adaptation over long periods of time, we've gotten to where we are, right? And that's how your brain works. So the idea that something is completely new and completely original is nonsense. It does not work like that at all. So every story you see is building off of something from before. Now, they might take other little things they have in their brain that they've learned and put them together in slightly different ways and creating something we would say that's original, but in truth, it's not. It's just not how your brain works. So the plagiarism is a difficult, slippery subject. In truth, and especially with me, I have maybe a more direct experience with this because I've done a lot of academic things, right? And in the academic world, plagiarism is a very serious thing. Whereas in the real world, it can come up costing you money in the end, and it usually does. But it also explains to you why so many of the songs and movies and TVs you have little lawsuits attached to them. For these kind of plagiarism things. I mean, think about them, for instance, Led Zeppelin. A lot of their list is actually been claimed and they've had to pay out money because of they supposedly copied stuff. Now, was it straight up copy or was it loaning? It's a difficult conversation. But when you understand how the human brain works, it might well explain why this keeps happening over and over again. Um, was that too serious for this article? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it's perfect for this article because that's the reason why I wanted to talk about it because you know besides these two individuals acting like an adult and not yelling at each other
Yeah.
over Twitter and everything, they came with a mutual understanding that things overlaps, as you mentioned, because that's how our brain works.
It is. It is exactly how our brain works, and it's a good thing too. But then again, this is also explains. I'm not going to get into it deep, but it also explains why when we have some kind of catastrophe that is very localized and a region itself might be a little bit separated or isolated. This is why we can go from some kind of sophistication in a culture to complete dark age savagery, right? Because if you lose that knowledge, say because you get pushed into the mountains and the old people die off quick and it's only the kids left, they don't know. And then they have to go through the long process of either relearning it through their own culture over a long period of time, or running into a culture still has it and learning from them. This is it's a big problem for humanity throughout our existence, and it keeps coming back on us because we keep getting slapped in the head. Hopefully, we'll get to a point where we can make sure that never happens again. And who knows? Maybe we're here now. Anyway, let me check the chat real quick. Nick W says comics borrow all the time from other forms of entertainment, but I do agree with her on one thing: the story parallels are too coincidental. They cut too close. Well, I am, and who knows? Sometimes people do plagiarize, actually. Right? And sometimes it's coincidence, right? Chrono says, go see the Star Trek lawsuit, Chester. That's serious lawsuit by a game maker. And that's a fair one because it's quite clear that the Discovery people ripped it off directly. It's clear they did, right? That's not a similar story. That's a straight up lifting of ideas and characters for sure, dude. And they're going to lose that if they haven't lost it already. This literally still living. Yeah, okay. That's true. Zach Bradley says, hey, Zach, what's up? Do you allow campaigns that are already actively posted on the site? Absolutely, we do, dude. Post away. We want to see what you're doing. We want to be part of it.
I believe he's doing a pixel about IndieCron.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. You can have something that's upcoming or something's going on. I don't care. Put it on the site. I mean, well, technically, it's Dinale's site. Do you have a problem with Dinale?
No.
Yeah, go right ahead, guys. We want to see what you're doing. Promote yourself. Let people know. That's a cool thing. That's nothing wrong with that at all. Let me just show you. I'm almost caught up here. Pixel says active campaign submissions and be sure to also submit a creator profile. Yeah, that is cool what he's doing. Pixel's got of course, Insider Magazine, and he's doing other things as well. So awesome, Pixel. Can we also talk about how House of X is totally utter garbage? Yeah, well, we didn't mention that, did we? It's really not a very good run. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think about it? I checked that. I checked it out a little bit. Are you enjoying that at all?
Well, I will say this in defense of it. It's better than most of the stuff that we've been getting recently.
That's fair. That's fair. See, I'm not. I understand how he's creating new omegas and he's reducing others, and some people liking that. I don't know if I'm liking it, but or whatever. You're right. It is better than some of the stuff we've seen recently. Chrono says you're actually wrong, Chester, because someone had to have the first invention. That's the problem with why it's wrong. No, it's not wrong, dude. Actually, if you're sitting there and you make them, you're playing with a stick, and you're just kind of twiddling away with the stick, and you're just kind of rubbing along, and it's hot. Oh, it's hot. And then you keep doing it. Oh no, there's a fire starting. What is this? This fire is useful. Many things, and if you haven't noticed this over the past couple of hundred years, a lot of the actual cool innovations we have in our society were done by accident. Someone else was trying to research some other line of thing, and by accident they came across something. This is why we're using electricity today, even though we have no clue whatsoever how the electron works. Get that? Understand that, right? Our whole world is built upon electricity, but we don't know how it works, right? And so it's not having the first idea. It's usually stumbling upon stuff. And then now that we have this information, how does it interact with this other thing I have? And that's just how we work, guys. It is what it is. Let's see. I have a profile already. Just not. Okay. Who do we vent off other stuff? If easy path to make a new, but there is a time. So yeah, wow, dude, you got to work on your spelling. Have to go from scratch to see the moon tech of the 50s. Yada yada yada. Yeah, no, it's just building upon itself little by little. Yeah, I mean, you know what would be interesting to see, George? And I bet you that someone would put a list together. I wonder if there is a list that shows us all of the accidental inventions in the past, say, 500 years. You know what I mean? George is not talking to me today. Okay. But that's not invented off of nothing. It came from somewhere, and it's not true, dude. It's just not how the brain works, right? This isn't TFT, Chester. Fine. Viagra and Silly Putty both invented accidentally. There you go, March Hare. Thank you. Moving on.
Okay. So from EW, the Yankees and White Sox are going to play in their 2020 games on the Fields of Dream baseball park that was made for the film back in 1989 with Kevin Costner. And this is a PR stunt to kind of bring up attendance because league-wide attendance has been falling drastically low.
Well, you know why that
So-
is. You know why that is. Because baseball sucks. Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, how dare you, Chester? But baseball is American pastime.
It
so.
is, but I've never liked baseball. But I mean, a lot of people. My dad loves it, so I mean, it's cool. Why do you think their attendance is dropping off, though?
I think, like everything else, it's just they are pricing out, the people from attending.
Yeah, too expensive.
I mean, not just the food, because those are like $10 for a cup of beer that doesn't taste that good, but then you're paying like about $30 to $40 a piece for the nosebleed section.
Yep.
What does this have to do with comics?
What does this have to do with comics? You're gonna have to catch that. I can't answer the question, Dinale.
What does it have to do with? Well, comics always had a tie-in with baseball, because if you look at any comic book, and the same
think not.
nothing not. Okay, here's another idea then. The same thing that's happening to baseball is happening to comics. They're not playing good, and it's not being excited, and it's being priced out.
Well, I mean, here's a fair point right here. Someone put up that's $150 a ticket. Now, I don't know much about baseball, but I know about, say, music concerts, because I used to go to them all the time when I was a kid. And this is the interesting thing. When I was a kid, I could get a pretty normal ticket for $20, $30 to go see anybody: Ozzy Osbourne, Metallica, Earth, Wind, and Fire, whatever. And of course, if you want to get those front seat, you pay a little bit more, but not that much. But here we are, 30 years later, and you're paying $100 to go see something, right? So that's a 5-time increase, right? Nearly 5. Let's say 4, a 4-time increase. And yet, if you look at pay, most people's pay has increased, what, 10% in that period. Now we're starting to see a little bit of movement with the mandatory $15, which is politically and economically stupid. But let's say that's just a doubling. It's not true, but we'll just say it is. So you have a doubling of pay, but you have a quadrupling of cost. So I don't know. I think it's probably a fair argument, isn't it? Because it's out, in this inflation is outpacing it. And the interesting thing, just to get into economics for a minute, because we know how exciting this conversation will be, but economically, businesses are making a higher profit margin than they ever have ever. Right, and that's even back when we had like no income tax, and the corporate tax was like non-existent. It's just unbelievable how much money they're making right now, even though they whine and complain all the time. They're making a lot of cash, dude. But you cannot have a situation where you have a doubling of income over a 30-year period, which, like I said, that's not even true. Let's say it's a 1.5 times increase, but yet a quadrupling of prices in many areas. It just doesn't work. Look at a car. How much does it cost you to get a car? When I was a kid, I could pick up a cheap car for $100, $1,000, or what have you, and you fix it up and ride it around. Can you still do that today?
No.
Yeah. So it's a fair argument, but I think it's cute. It looks like fun. I mean, Kevin Costner's movie there was quite loved and awesome. I think it's awesome. Anyway, it's time for a trailer though. I kind of need a trailer.
Let's do that.
Can we have a trailer?
I want to look at a trailer. I want to look at it.
Okay, I'm gonna look. Oh my God! Is that Eddie Murphy?
Yes.
And is he with
Is he still
Wesley
alive?
Snipes? He's still
Yes.
alive, right? I know, right? All right, I'm gonna click it. I'm gonna click it. Don't blame me. And copy strike strike incoming. I'm sure. Here we go.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure you pause.
Oh, there it is. I got to pause. All right. Hey, Wesley. Hey, he's looking pretty good, dude.
Oh my God, you can already tell what it's gonna be. We're gonna have some like 70s, 80s blaxploitation. I love it.
I know, right? Well, Dolomite was great, man. I love Dolomite.
I
But
love some good old blaxploitation. You ever see Black Dynamite?
oh, sure, dude.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
And Dolomite is my name. This is a remake, dude. This is Dolomite was a real thing. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But no, I love those all those exploitation films that came out of the 70s, dude. Not just black exploitation, but all kind of stuff. We could get into a long conversation about movies and the Philippines and the Australia's low tax rates, and Canada too. We talked about it a little bit before, I think. But anyway, let's watch it.
Dolomite is my name.
Comedy.
Hey, Auntie, I was thinking about putting out a comedy record.
Comedy? You've been a singer, a shake dancer?
That's real hard to break in. I do whatever it takes to get in. I come up with.
So, all right. So he's going to do a comedy record like a Bill Cosby.
A new character. Dolomite is my name, and fucking up motherfuckers is my game.
He's bad.
You look like a pimp.
It's all pretend. I just created a character.
Dolomite, you a trip.
Pull on that.
Oh, that's a wig.
That's right.
That's a wig. That's
Whatever
right.
it takes, I'm ready to do it. I got to be totally outrageous.
It's filthy. You've got a product here that you can't sell or promote.
Okay, I get it. Man, it's nice to see Eddie going back to Eddie, because we've had a lot of family-friendly Eddie for too long. We need the old Eddie, right? That's I'm liking it so far. It looks cool to me. What do you think, George?
No, I'm listening. I'm listening to all this. I just think it's too much, man. I mean, what's this world coming to?
What, you have a problem with a black man acting like a pimp? That's racist. That's racist.
No. I have a problem with them rehashing the 70s. I mean, the 70s has to stay in the 70s. Do not bring disco into this.
Oh, God, disco. Oh, that was such a travesty, dude. That's true.
I never got to experience disco.
Yeah, thank God, dude. Scott says, I miss Ice Cream Eddie. Dude, so do I. Hey, Snoop. What's up, Snoop?
I'm true. A man slammed a door in my face. I just found another door. I want the world to know I exist.
The Orpheum.
This ain't funny. And it ain't no brothers in it either.
If I get up in that light with my own movie, I could be everywhere all at once. Let's bring Dolomite to the screen.
The actors we hire, you're a bit doughier than them.
Doughier?
Doughier. Uh-oh.
Hey, that's Durban Martin.
I'm offering you a role in my new motion picture.
You think you could just walk up here and hire me? No.
What if we let you direct?
In storytelling, it's always best to write what you know.
Ain't nothing to talk about in my personal life. I deal with the nightlife, club owners and mobsters and lots of pimps and kung fu.
Do you know karate?
No, but I'm a fast learner. I can learn how to chop me up.
Action.
Action.
Dolomite, give it to me.
Put your weight on it.
Put your weight.
Pretending like he could be a sex machine. What planet is this cat on?
Oh, this looks great, dude.
This thing flops, you're gonna be working for free for the rest of your life.
I'm so grateful for what you did for me, because I never seen nobody that looks like me up there on that big screen.
Got the Beatles thing going on here. I don't know. I'm loving it so far. What do you guys think?
I mean, if it's old Eddie back, then yeah.
Yeah, and they used to do a lot of this stuff in the '70s, man. They had fun just goofing at each other and like all those black exploitation stuff Booster was talking about. They were fun movies, dude. They weren't taking it so serious, right? And this looks like to be a little bit of a drama as well. But I don't know. I hope it's good, man. I'd like to see a good Eddie again. It's been a while, dude.
I just watched Raw very recently. And that was great stuff.
Oh, Eddie's awesome, dude.
God damn, Dolomite.
Great God in heaven, you know
Okay, so I guess.
Was it good as Shaft?
Okay, so I guess this is not a remake per se, but there was a Dolomite. There absolutely was a Dolomite. So maybe they're spoofing on it, or maybe there's something behind the scenes that I don't know about Dolomite that these guys are playing on. But that looks fun to me, man.
I think this is the creation of Dolomite. Like
maybe, yeah.
Like Vice is behind, this is how Dolomite, the legend of Dolomite came to be.
Right.
Dolomite.
No, and Adrian is helping out with here. He says, "Freaking Eddie Murphy looks like he's back. It does look good, dude. Dolomite has some of the best scenes. Yeah, I told you Dolomite was a real movie. Maybe you're right, Dinale. This might be kind of almost like a making of type of thing with some comedy thrown on top of it. But oh man, I hope it's good, man. And it's coming to Netflix. Ooh, I have a pinch in my neck here. Hold on a second. Hold on. Oh God. Oh God.
You're right.
Well, Netflix worries me, dude. They worry me because they started out being very hit and miss, right? And then they started out being miss and miss.
Miss. Yes. Yes.
Right? Because Netflix is not doing well because it's all about politic, and I'm assuming you couldn't make an argument there is some politic in what we just saw, but not really. It's I think it's a very truthful thing. I bet you a lot of black dudes in the '70s were like, hey, there's not a lot of movies with us in it, and why would there be? The people are making movies, making what they know, just like they said in there, right? So they're not black, they're not going to be making a lot of black stuff, and they were like, hey, we make our own thing, and they did, and they were fun.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're a lot of fun. And so I think that looks great. We haven't had a trailer I've liked in a while. He made me laugh. You see.
Made Chester laugh.
He did.
Amazing. That's an accomplishment.
It is. Hard pass. Nope, March Hare says. Why?
Oh, you get out of here. Get off my channel.
No, you're right, Kronos. And Netflix has turned into crazy SJW. And we've talked about that before. It's like, there's no problem with making SJW stuff. I mean, go right ahead. Just make sure you have stuff for everybody, right? It's kind of the point. But they've been having less and less for everybody. But we'll see. But here's the thing, though. They made that second Shaft movie with what's his name, Samuel L. Jackson, which I thought was
Yeah.
fun. I loved it. But the SJWs hated that flick. They were just ragging on it hard. So being black doesn't make you safe anymore. That's something that's certainly true. But Dragon says, I might watch it when I have to run the card shop. Well, there you go. They had a skinny white dude in some. Oh, goodness gracious. Of course, there'll be nudity, and it'll be funny because it's a big old round lady, a greasy round lady. That'll be good, man. Adrian says you can look up a compilation of the best scenes. One is where he kicks a guy in the face but misses him entirely. The guy acts like he gets his face kicked in. It's so funny. Yeah, no, of course they weren't necessarily high quality things. Some of them were pretty good, but a lot of the 70s and 80s, Canon film and Roger Corman and all that kind of stuff. It was seat of the pants filmmaking. There was a lot of fun stuff that came out of it, guys. Sukiyaki Western Django. All right, there you go. Anyway, let's move on to our very last news of the day, and it's interesting because we just talked about this.
Right. So from Deadline, the hunt it's being pulled from theaters following the mass shooting and our President Donald Trump slamming against Hollywoods. They said, we recognize that it's not the right time to have such a film, and we still stand behind everything that the creation vision of these filmmakers did.
Well, of course they're right. But the interesting thing of these last, round of shootings, of course they don't talk about the lefty Bernie Sanders, not Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren guy who went and shot people up. They always talk about the other guy. But the simple fact of the matter is, after this last round of shootings, a lot of these Democrats have come out and not only called for doxing, simple doxing of people, but they've called for eradication of everybody who doesn't agree with them. And if you voted for Trump or are happy with what Trump is doing, you need to be eradicated. And this is the kind of crap they're going on about. And this movie is simply bringing that sentiment to the fore, because they truly believe that you are this evil thing that needs to be destroyed, even though we're talking about probably more than half of the country, because you have the definite, lifelong conservatives who would certainly vote that direction, but you also got a lot of people like me, right? I'm sitting dead in the middle. I'm a libertarian, full on, 100% libertarian, and good or bad, right? And I understand that. But for me, Trump wasn't my thing. Like, oh, great, Trump. I was like, oh God, Trump. But hey, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. He's doing a good job, man. And just because I think that, and I appreciate the movement that he's got on various things, I need to be eradicated now as well. And this movie is disgusting.
Okay, I have to disagree here 100%. 100%.
That's what you do, George. So go ahead.
What happened here is a travesty. It doesn't matter what the subject matter was of the movie. They should not have bent the knee and given into the crowd. That is the problem. Do not bend a knee to the whiny masses. It doesn't matter if you're a left or right wing ideology or whatever, centrist ideology. It doesn't matter. You do not bend the knee to the crowd. Okay, so what? They got a movie that's going after Trump supporters. Big freaking deal. There's so many movies going of targeting so many different races and ideologies in history. Who gives a care? It's just a freaking movie.
Yeah,
do
George.
not bend the moment you bend the knee once, they will come after you on every other thing, just like Sarah Silverman. Exactly. This is the same situation as Sarah Silverman. It's come back to bite the left on their ass for the bullshit that they've done and perpetrated.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right, George.
It's the same thing.
No, you're right. 100% right. Yeah, they shouldn't have to do that, and they didn't have to do it. They made a decision to. You're 100% right. It's the door swings both ways. It's true. It is true. Nick W says the original name of the hunt was Red States versus Blue States. See? Yeah. But yeah, no, I agree with you, George, 100%. And and of course, it doesn't go the other way. Them backing up is kind of showing what they want everybody else to do, but back up. If they don't like what you do and they complain about it, you need to back up. Well, no, no, we don't, right? And neither did they. It's true. What do you think, Booster?
I don't know. I This movie looks like crap, but of course they have the right to make it,
Sure.
even if it just does look like nasty ass crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and I'm always for holding people to their own bloody standards, but we also got to be held to our own, right? It's a mess.
I think so. Yeah. What do you think, Dinale?
Well, I am a strong believer of the First Amendment. That's the right to say it, just like it's my right to criticize their making it. But the fact that they're pulling it, I'm in agreement with George here as well, where they shouldn't do that, shouldn't have bent the knee. But that's been the issues that got us here, that we've tolerated it and we bent the knee and kept bending the knee each and every time. And that's
right.
really what's eroding the First Amendment rights, instead of saying, following what, the comic book where it says, where the world tells us to move, Captain America says, no, you move. And we've forgotten that.
It's true. Yeah. And Bullet says propaganda. Absolutely they do. Of course it is. Chrono says that's why Democrats are done for next election. And Trump's more radical ideas he's going to get away with, like back during apps and encryption. I don't know what he means by that. But yeah, no, of course that there's some truth to that. Backlash goes way far beyond equality. Always, it's a true point. But I don't know if we have any kind of actual extreme things from Trump at all. You got to keep in mind, Trump is a lifelong Democrat. Actually, he's just an old classic liberal, is what he is, a real liberal. He's not like these crazy progressives, but he's a Democrat, dude. He's not a Republican. Not really. I mean, he may be fiscally conservative, but that's simply because he's a businessman. If you're a parent, you must be fiscally conservative, just in and of itself. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see much radical out of Trump at all, dude. He's not radical. He's a liberal.
That is a radical.
Well, no, I mean, but he's a centrist. Dude.
No. And here's the point I'm going, because I usually don't interject a lot of politics because we want to keep a lot of that out. But here's how the left view it, because I was reading a couple articles as I was looking at news. They said the alt-right is the fascists, the conservatives is white nationalists, the right centralist is the far right, the center, or the center, the left centralist is the conservative, the liberals are the moderates, and the far left is where it's going. That's how they see it.
That is true. Yeah.
That's where the goalpost is for these guys.
Yeah. No. And of course, Adrian makes a point. He's not even close to being a Republican. No, he's not. Like I said, he's a lifetime Democrat. The only reason he went with the Republicans is because he couldn't get in with the Democrats because they wouldn't let him in. But but for me, he's not too far off from a lot of my thinking, being a centrist myself. But that it doesn't really matter. My point is, he's not radical. He's just not radical. I mean, if you think about what Obama did, because Obama was pretty far left. He was kind of what you would consider a radical leftist, and he did a lot of weird stuff. But the only thing that really helped us out with Obama was the fact that the dude has no balls, right? He's the type that sits in the back of the room and waits for the fight to get done, and then whoever wins, he sides with them. That's what he is. He's like Hillary Clinton, right? She's a chameleon. Depending on who she's talking to, she's going to be saying completely different things. So, we've been lucky in not having a super, super dangerous person in the White House for quite some time. And I think Trump's no different than that. I'm not worried about him having a 100%, mandate, because you could argue there wasn't a mandate. I don't think that's true. He won the electoral college quite handily, but if he does win the next election in very big way, therefore giving him a mandate, I don't think we're going to see much different out of him at all, dude. I really think what needs to happen is the House needs to be taken back if you want to see things get done. If things stay the way they are, we're going to see the same type of politics we've had for year after year after year, where nothing gets done because all they do is bitch at each other for months and months and get paid. Right? I mean, that's kind of what it is. But I understand you guys are talking about the FBI and you talk about encryptions and stuff like that, which I don't know much about. So maybe one of you guys who knows a lot about that might want to come on and do a little segment with us and tell us about that. Anyway, anybody have any further comments at all? Or am I going to just come back over the main page?
Main page.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, let's go to main page. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Back to the Hangouts, guys. So
And here we are.
Here we are, our pretty icon faces. Yeah, no, fun news, dude. I enjoyed that. We had some good conversation. I want to see that Dolomite movie, and it must be coming out soon, right? Netflix usually drops very quickly after trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, rarely do they hold it half a year after dropping it, but
no.
I mean, well, they did with Stranger Things the last season.
Well,
not
but
not this past season, but the season prior.
Well, that's a little different though. That's their original thing, and they're playing it out and advertising it throughout the year. I get that, but
yeah,
I know there's a lot of people who like it. I'm not a big fan of it. I watched season 1; it was all right, but some people love it. So awesome. I think it's their big money maker, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for coming in. We appreciate it, of course, every day. Do keep in mind that tomorrow is our Bugbear's Basement, and we finished up the Vampire the Masquerade campaign, and that was fun. And what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to sit and talk about and kind of lay out the premise for our next game, which is going to be D&D. And I'm really looking forward to that. I got some really cool ideas but we're going to do it very differently, keeping in mind that the past two things we did was a very linear narrative, right? And it's just because we were trying to have some people who knew what they're doing and trying to tell a story, right? But what we're going to do with the D&D is we're going to make it completely unlinear. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the cosmology and the world, what's going on in it, and whatever these guys do is whatever they do. Now, of course, that's going to be a little bit more difficult for me doing the kind of storybook style we've been doing with those, which I think are fun. But it just means I need to do more prep and just be ready. And I will do my best to make that happen. But so this could be another role playing game, but it's not going to be linear. We're going to let these dudes do and maybe dudettes, who knows, and let them do anything they want. There's not going to be any kind of linear overarching at all. I think it should be fun to see what happens with it. And of course, we also would love to get some people involved. We need to put together our team. And the only requirement to be on the show and be in the game is one, that you have some experience. We don't want to do a noob teaching show. We've done that before, but we want people who have experience. And secondly, you have to commit to it. If you're going to be part of it, you have to be part of it. I mean, you can't show up 1 week and I can't be here for 2 weeks. You can't do that. So if you have to make a decision if you're going to be a part of it or not. And but of course, we want to make a good team. I'm looking for 4 players is what I'd like. I could do a little bit more, but I think 4 is a good solid thing. And no one is 100% on other than Dinale, I would assume. But just let us know. And open-ended is cool, Chester. I don't know what that means, dude. But looking forward to it, guys. And we're going to be talking about that at length tomorrow. So we'll see you back here. And yeah, Dinale, take us out of here, man.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us for Comics News today. Join us tomorrow for Bugbear's Basement at 8 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday, we are back at 8 p.m. Eastern with Comics News Today, followed by the Blacklist Universe Drawing Quarter Pro Edition at 10 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, we have Drawing Quarter Fan Edition at 10 p.m. Eastern. Mm-hmm. And before that one is our regular 8 p.m. Comics News Today. Friday is our day off. Saturday, we come back hitting you with hard-hitting fan speak at 8 p.m. And we close out the week with at 8 p.m., which we'll be talking about the Knights Templar. So I'm pretty sure Chester and the Wolf, who are experts on the subject, are very excited about that.
I'm going to win. I will win.
Oh, we're going to have a debate here. Now, that's a show. That's a show right there. Join the Immortal Mass newsletter at dinalescomics@gmail.com. I'll be posting up updates once I have things to update everybody on. The project is going amazing. Ideas are spouting. The script is almost done. We're in the third revision of it and cleaning up to do dialogues, and the character design are looking freaking amazing. I'm very excited about that. But as always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste.
Namaste.
All right, guys. Later.
Aloha.